Hi, I'm Dave Plummer. I'm standing as a Green Party candidate for Waltham Abbey South West in the forthcoming town and district elections. This is just a few words about policies and what I stand for and what I'll do if you elect me. Few people would deny that we need more housing in Waltham Abbey, but too many of the homes that are being built and that are planned are out of the reach of local people who are struggling with high rents and low wages. I'll push to make social and genuinely affordable housing a priority, providing secure homes for young families and saving taxpayers money by reducing housing benefit costs. It will also save costs by reducing the wider health and educational impacts of insecure housing. I'll also call for infrastructure and services such as health provision and school places to be improved before any building is allowed to proceed. I'll encourage high insulation standards and on-site renewable energy for all new builds, which will cut energy bills for families and reduce emissions. And of course I'll fight to save our green belt and community spaces from development. Our green spaces are vital for wildlife, for our health and for the environment. We need to defend them because once they're gone, they're gone. Anyone who's been stuck in traffic on the A121 or found that there's nowhere to park outside their home knows that we have too many cars on our roads. Dealing with that will take a massive cultural change, which is way beyond the power of a local councillor, but there are ways that councils can help reduce the problems. One thing I'd look at is permits for residents and small businesses to use our public car parks at a reduced rate. Many of our car parks are pretty much empty most of the time. Encouraging their use by massively cutting the cost for local people and businesses could reduce the pressure on our residential streets, while also providing a steady source of income for our councils to maintain other services. A £50 permit provides more income than an empty car park space. I'll also continue working for better public transport and cycling infrastructure. Through the lack of school buses and late evening services, we're forcing people to drive, fork out for taxis or just stay at home. The school run alone puts hundreds of cars on our roads that don't need to be there. Let's find a better way. Town and district councillors are very limited in what they can do for small businesses. They have little say over business rates and have no say over rents. However, there are things that they can do. Our town centre is a gem, but it could be so much more. My priority for the town centre is to work with local businesses, along with heritage and cultural organisations, community groups, youth groups and a town partnership to find ways to rejuvenate our town centre, building on the work some of our small businesses have done over the last few years. One small idea which has worked very well in other parts of the country is using empty retail units for pop-up services, such as art exhibitions for local schools and art groups. This gives an outlet for local groups to show the community what they've been doing, reduces the amount of unsightly empty units in our town centre, and gives property owners and landlords a chance to show that they really care about our community. That's just one example of the imaginative thinking that I'll bring to our town and district councils. Crime and antisocial behaviour is a massive problem in Waltham Abbey at the moment. The recently announced 3 new police officers are definitely a very good step. I support that wholeheartedly, but it doesn't address the underlying problems. We need better youth facilities, we need better support for parents, we need to invest in the things that will stop kids getting into crime in the first place. I've been speaking to quite a few people who are willing to help out with new community projects. A shining example is the Loughton Youth Project, which provides support and guidance for young people, gives them something interesting to do with the radio station and various other creative projects. I'd like to set up something like that here in Waltham Abbey with the support of the community and our local councils. If you vote for me, that is one of my priorities which I'll definitely look into. Protecting our environment globally and locally underpins everything I stand for. No issue is more important. From campaigning for better public transport to litter picking, from pushing for renewable energy and better installations in new homes, to working with the town council to reduce single-use plastics and, of course, trying to save the green belt, I'm committed to doing what I can to make sure my generation leaves a planet which future generations can live in and enjoy. We need to reduce CO2 and methane emissions, we need to protect our trees, hedgerows and verges, we need to use less plastic, we need to do more to cut deer deaths on our roads. You know, if you vote for me, you're voting for a candidate who puts our children's future first, not as an afterthought and not just as a box to tick. One thing that people regularly say to me is that they rarely hear from our current district councillor. If you elect me, I'll make sure that you can find out how I've represented you on the council, from votes and speeches, etc. I'll continue to deliver regular newsletters to keep you up to date on local issues, and I'll make sure I get around more homes with the quick surveys. The information you give us on the surveys is vital for finding out what your concerns are. I've not been able to get around as many homes as I'd like, but I pledge to get around every home I can at least once a year. In this year's local elections, you can vote for change from business as usual. You can vote for a candidate who you rarely see, or you can vote for a candidate who through 4 years of hard work and dedication has shown that he supports the community in Waltham Abbey, supports our green spaces, supports our town, supports our businesses, and wants to help make the best of the wonderful place that we live in. You can make the difference, so please vote Green on May 2nd. Thank you.